checkered flag event. The real victory lap is the drive home.
Welcome to St. Petersburg, Florida. This is the final game of this 3-game series and the final game of the 8-game road trip. The Blue Jays have a couple of players in their lineup that haven't played for a while. Anthony Alford hasn't played since last year in the big leagues. He got into 4 games last year. He had 1 major league hit. He went 1 for 8 in those 4 games and suffered a fractured hamate bone in his left hand, had surgery. He is up and in the lineup here this afternoon. Let's take a look at the rest of the lineup for the 18 and 16 Blue Jays. Justin Smoke has missed 4 games, but over his last 8 games, he's at .333 with a double, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs. They need his bat and they need his glove. Kendrys Morales. Boy, look at those numbers. 16 for 31. Only Jacoby Ellsbury has more hits against Chris Archer than Kendrys Morales. Ellsbury has 22 hits against Archer, so maybe this is the pitcher Morales has been looking for.
Yeah, let's hope so. Chris Archer hasn't been the same Chris Archer we've seen in the past. This is his 8th start. He's 2-2, 605 earned run average. He's actually given up more hits than innings pitched so far this year. That's the first time in his career that has ever happened. This is his 25th start against the Blue Jays, his most frequent opponent. The 24 starts against the Jays, he's allowed 3 or fewer runs in 21 of them, including the last 10. He has really been tough against the Jays. That slider has been very good against Toronto. He hasn't lost to them since opening day of 2016.
Defensively behind Archer, they've got a pretty tight defense. The Rays have played very good in the field. It's Span Smith and Gomez in the outfit. A lot of speed in the outfit, and they got a veteran behind the plate in Wilson Ramos.
Yeah, catching a day game after a night game. He's in there for his bats. His catcher's earned run average this year has been the best on the team at .399. But he's been swinging a hot bat. He's got a 13-game hit streak. He will catch Chris Archer this afternoon.
So Archer is set. Teoscar Hernandez, the leadoff man. Here's the first pitch of the game. Cut on and popped up. Brad Miller, the first baseman, waiting on it, and Archer gets worn out with 1 pitch as Teoscar Hernandez pops on.
He's been one of the best in the American League over the last few years. A little bit of an inconsistent start to his season this year. Fastball, slider. He'll throw his changeup every now and then, but he's basically been a 2-pitch pitcher.
Archer's now 29 years old. He was originally drafted by the Cleveland Indians out of high school in North Carolina way back in 2006. Then he was traded from Cleveland to the Cubs and from the Cubs to Tampa Bay. Here is Josh Donaldson. First pitch strike. Donaldson reached base in last night's game with a first inning walk that extends his personal streak to 21 straight games reaching base against Tampa Bay.
There's a good fastball. He will use that fastball away to right-handers, and then that will set up his slider that he likes to strike people out with. Last time out, he's a lot better. 6 innings, he only gave up 2 earned runs.
There's a slider. Donaldson stays on it, but they were shifted, and Joey Wendell makes the play. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, let's take a look at the scouting report for this afternoon starter, Chris Archer. 46% of the time he's going to use that fastball, and it's a good one. 95 plus. The slider, he'll use it another 44% of the time. It's been inconsistent this year. Usually it looks like a hard curveball because it breaks so much. This year he hasn't been able to get it where he wants to. He hasn't been able to spin it like he did in the last couple of years. But he's been using that slider a lot.
This is Yervis Solarte. He goes after the first pitch and pops it out of play. Solarte is playing at second base this afternoon. He was a DH in last night's game. Lourdes Gurriel is out of the lineup. Outside, a ball on the strike. Solarte's hit .375 on this road trip, 12 for 32 with 3 doubles, pair of home runs, and he's driven in 8. He's had a good road trip.
Yeah, he and Donaldson went crazy in Cleveland. And that doubleheader, that quick stop off in Cleveland, he had a good series in Minnesota. Right now, 2-1. Look something for something inside.
Trying to go away, and they do. He fouls it out of play again.
That's the thing about Archer. He very rarely does he pitch inside. He likes to pitch away to everybody. That fastball was another one away to Solarte. He'll throw a slider down and into the lefties. Keep the fastball away from him.
Duffy, the third baseman at straightaway shortstop. And there's the slider. So Archer has a quick inning in the first. He retires a side in order and strikes out Solarte. Marco Estrada will take the hill when we come back. He's walked twice and scored 2 runs. He will set the tone for this Rays lineup, who have really been swinging the bats well, scoring almost 6 runs a game over the last 14 games. Matt Duffy, the third baseman, he's at .371 at home here at the Trop. 13 for 35 with 3 doubles and 3 RBI. And then Wilson Ramos, he is on a 13-game hit streak. It's the longest active hit streak in the major leagues, and just one shy of the longest hit streak for a Rays catcher. Toby Hall hit it 14 straight.
That's the lineup that Marco Estrada gets this afternoon. Start number 7 on the year for Marco. 2-2, .619 earned run average. Last time out, no decision, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 4 runs against Minnesota. I think the problem that Marco has had is his fastball command. He's got to keep the ball down because he's allowed 6 home runs in his last 3 starts. You got to pitch off of that 4-seam fastball, and you got to keep it down. I think that makes his changeup that much more effective.
First pitch strike to Span. That fastball misses down and away. It's going to be interesting to watch Marco. I know he is really focused on his fastball location, trying to throw more strikes with that fastball, especially low quality strikes.
Because it sets up his great changeup. Throwing a fastball for a strike is one thing. Throwing a fastball for a strike down, for if you're Marco Estrada, I think is very important. You can show a pitch up every now and then, but keep the fastball down. I think it just makes his changeup that much better. Bernard Span having some time.
Been a rough stretch for the Blue Jays starters. They are 2-9 in the last 15 games. Span pulls this one foul into the seats. And that was thought to be a strength of this ball club, and right now they're really scuffling, and the Blue Jays have lost 10 of their last 15 games. They haven't hit well lately either, so that's really compounded the situation.
Yeah, hitting and pitching. What's the old saying? Momentum is tomorrow's starter. So they need a good one.
They elevated that fastball, but Span wouldn't chase.
I don't have a problem with that. Everything else was down, 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 down. Now you change the eye level with that fastball. Now you can go back down with your changeup if you want to.
Reaches for it and pops it into shallow center. And Diaz makes a terrific catch. This is the first series he's ever played in this ballpark, and it can be challenging for defenders. is to pick that ball up out of this very light colored roof, and he did a good job. Pilar wasn't going to get there.
Yeah, especially on day games. It's a little bit lighter. Don't take your eye off of it. He runs straight back. You can see he never took his eye off that ball and then catches it over his shoulder like a football wide receiver. Touchdown.
C.J. Crone takes that first pitch changeup. Crone hitting .261 for the season with some damage. He's hit 7 home runs and 5 doubles. Back-to-back changeups. It's 2-0. The Blue Jays are 18-16 for the season. There's 3 straight changeups, and Brian O'Nora down at first. Cole Crone for the swing.
Crone had a big sacrifice fly that gave him an extra run in the 8th inning last night. You're right. If you make a mistake, he's liable to knock it out of the ballpark.
He's got 5 home runs in his last 12 games, all coming with runners on base. He hit just 2 home runs in his first 18 games, and both of those were solo shots. Strike 3 call. He spots that fastball, and that's what we're talking about. Locate that fastball, and you got a chance to have a good outing.
It's low and it's away. Luke Maley sets up there. The glove is right there, and Marco hits it. Look at where the glove is, and it's right on the corner. That's a good pitch. If he stays out there, I think this afternoon he's going to be fine.
Matt Duffy batting with nobody on and 2 outs. First pitch curveball. Duffy in the series has gone 3 for 7 with a double and an RBI. We mentioned his great average here at home, .371 for the season. Good quality fastball right at the knees. Marco 2-2 with a .619 earned run average in his first 6 starts. He's late on that fastball. You can see everybody has got that changeup in the back of their mind, and when they do swing at a fastball, so far they've been late on it.
The Rays have really hit Marco hard the last couple of years, and I think their approach at the plate has been, I'm going to sit on his changeup. Look for the changeup until I get to 2 strikes and then try and foul off that tough pitch. There's an occasional fastball again to change the eye level, but you've seen it over the last couple of days or couple of years. The hitters just reacting to the changeup. They're sitting back waiting for it.
Another fastball, another late swing from Duffy.
And that's why I think the fastball's important, but low. Keep it low. Make a good pitch with it.
Last year, Marco made 4 starts against Tampa Bay. He was 0-4 with a .1061 earned run average. They hit almost 400 against him. A little cutter there that missed outside. Full count, 2 outs. Brad Miller's on deck. He's playing first base again this afternoon. The payoff pitch. Changeup and a good one. Marco Estrada off to a good start this afternoon. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. That's what the Blue Jays are looking for. Last year he made 5 starts, and he was impressive during all 5 of those starts.
Yeah, 265 earned run average, a 180 batting average against, a whip under 1. So you would think, oh, okay, he's probably 5-0 against the Blue Jays last year. He was 1-0. For some reason, he just couldn't finish off the Blue Jays. They would stay very close to him and knock him out of the game, and he would get a no decision. He also had 44 strikeouts in 34 innings against the Jays. Gave up 4 home runs in those 5 starts. He's been tough, but a little bit different pitcher this year. You don't see that 97, 98 mile an hour fastball from him.
Justin Smoke back in the lineup. He missed 4 games. He did not play in a doubleheader in Cleveland. He went home to be with his family for the birth of their 2nd child. Cut on and missed another good fastball. You're right, it's 93. It's not 96, 97 like we've seen in the past.
Which is still pretty good, as long as you can locate it. He's had trouble locating it this year. He's given up 6 home runs already this year.
Outside. Archer, you mentioned his 5 starts last year. He has struck out 10 or more batters in his last 3 starts against the Blue Jays. Breaking ball. The significance of that is that there's only one pitcher that has that kind of stretch, a bigger number, 5 straight games with 10 or more strikeouts against the Blue Jays. You got a guess?
Well, let's see. Who used to strike out? How long ago? Give me an era.
Yeah,
like a Roger Clemens or a Chris Sale type.
A little bit before that.
Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan. Justin Smoke taps out to the first baseman as Miller flips to Archer. 1 away. The Pitch Tracker is brought to you by Coors Light, official beer of Major League Baseball. The great Nolan Ryan had 5 straight games of 10 or more strikeouts from May 77 to July 98. 5 straight games against the Jays.
What does Archer have? 3?
3. Yep.
11 and 2 10s.
Kevin Pillar. Kevin's having a good start to his season, batting .310. Look at the on-base percentage, .359. I think Archer's surprising the Blue Jays early on with the fastballs he's throwing.
Nobody threw more sliders over the last few years than Chris Archer. I think the Blue Jays are looking at that.
Pillar rips it down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Up against the wall. He's headed for second, and he'll get there standing up with his 14th double of the season. 1 behind the leader, Eduardo Escobar of the Twins.
You know, we've talked at length about how good his slider is, but it's been very inconsistent this year. Watch how this ball just twirls over the middle of the plate. Not a lot of break, not a lot of depth to it, and of course he misses his spot. As a hitter, you can see that out of his hand. You see the little hump in that pitch. You see it spinning a little bit, and when it doesn't break, a good hitter like Kevin Pillar knows what to do with it.
Pitchers will call that pitch a cement mixer because it just doesn't spin. It just sits there and goes around and around and around, doesn't break. Kendrys Morales, we mentioned his great run against Chris Archer. He's 16 for 31 against Archer with 9 extra base hits, a .516 average. See if this guy won't get Morales going a bit.
Yeah, got to get him going because when he gets hot.
Swinging a drive to left. Span has got room, and he makes the catch on the warning track. Pillar will go back to second base.
When he gets hot, where he is hitting in the lineup, he's got opportunities to drive in runs. Thought he drove in 2 right there. When it left the bat, it looked like it had enough to get it down the left field line.
So Anthony Alford will get his first big league at bat of the season. Alford played in 16 games between Dunedin and AAA Buffalo. He had a good spring with the Jays. He hit .323 during the spring. And then he had a hamstring problem that put him on the DL to start the season.
Every one of the young players that we have seen this year that the Blue Jays have brought up show talent, tools. They have baseball tools, speed, good arm, maybe some power, maybe some defense. There they are. Teoscar Hernandez with power. Gurriel, what a great arm. He's going to be a good player. Dalton Pompey, we saw yesterday, he made a fantastic catch in left field. And now Alford has as much talent as all of those guys.
Yeah, it's really encouraging for the future when you see these youngsters come up and play here in the big leagues.
Now
Archer's ahead 0-2.
They got to make it transition into the big leagues now and put together some good at-bats and some good games.
Archer threw that breaking ball well into the dirt. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., 24 years old, and he's very young in his professional career here in North America. Hit a home run in yesterday's game. He also committed his first 2 errors in the field. Off the plate outside. Archer wanted it. Just a bit wide. Blue Jays are 3-4 on this road trip. They've homered in 6 of the 7 games they have played. Total of 13 home runs. There's that good slider in a good spot. So Archer gives up a 1-out double to Kevin Pillar. Pillar is stranded on base. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score.
Quote, I have to make better pitches, plain and simple. And as Buck and Pat talked about in particular, it's locating that fastball. When you're throwing 88, 89, the margin for error is little with the heater. And Estrada is taking his struggles to heart. He said, I want people to have confidence in me and believe that I'm a good pitcher and contribute to what's going on. Now, pitching coach Pete Walker is seeing the bigger picture. He said Marco is a huge part of this, that there's a lot of season left, and that the Blue Jays have seen glimpses of the Marco Estrada of the past. To see more, though, guys, it's fundamentally about that fastball command.
Well, it sure is, and he commanded his fastball very effectively in the first inning. He had a couple of strikeouts at a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, but he threw 19 pitches, and that's been a problem as well. So Pete Walker very concerned about his whole staff. His rotation is not pitched up to capabilities at this point.
I was going to say, you guys look familiar.
You know, Marco Estrada, after his last start, talked about his fastball location. Aaron Sanchez last night, after his start, talked about the same thing. You got one guy that throws 96, one guy that throws 89. That's still the most important thing for any pitcher.
Yeah, strike one. And strike one with your fastball is even better. Locating your fastball. And then you can pitch off of that. We've seen that, I think, the last few days. Faria did it against the Blue Jays. I mean, he pounded that fastball in there to get ahead. Second game of the doubleheader in Cleveland. Plutko did it too to the Blue Jays, like that right there. Fastball right there, and it makes it a lot easier when you get ahead.
Right, and it also puts Very defensive mindset into the hitter's mind. Another good pitch. Diaz has to wait for it, unloads just in time to get Miller. In between hop, but Diaz got a good strong arm. I mentioned Marco Estrada and how he's trying to locate that fastball a little bit better. You look at his opponent's batting average against the four-seam fastball, how it has gone up each and every year.
From 2015 to 2018, he hasn't learned or forgot how to throw a four-seam fastball. He just hasn't located it. In 2015, when they hit 195, he was painting.
That's a good fastball there. He gets strike one against Wilson Ramos. Ramos, we mentioned he's got a 13-game hit streak, 21 for 51. That's a .412 average during that hit streak. 5 doubles, 4 home runs. He's driven in 15 runs.
This guy can hit. And you mentioned his 13-game hit streak. That's the third longest of his career. He's had longer ones. He had a 19-gamer and a 14-gamer when he was with Washington.
You saw his numbers against the Blue Jays, and he's a nice pickup. He's from Venezuela. He came as a free agent here. They signed him knowing full well they wouldn't have him for the entire season because he was coming back from ACL surgery. Signed by the Twins originally, and the Twins traded him to Washington. Change up past Donaldson, a wicked hop to his glove side. And that's going to extend the hit streak to 14 straight for Wilson Ramos.
There's the wicked hop. And he played it correctly. Get on the side, your hands a little bit quicker. But that hit something in that dirt area and shot right by him. And now that active hit streak is up to 14. He passes Kevin Kiermaier, who had a 13-game hit streak in 2016. It's the longest since then.
That ties him with Toby Hall for the longest hit streak by a Tampa Bay Rays catcher. Marco sticking with that fastball to get ahead of Joey Wendell. Wendell is the second baseman. He's 0 for his last 11. But before that, he was 14 for 28. And he has had a little bit of a tough stretch lately.
Doesn't try and do too much with the ball. He just kind of slaps it where it's pitched. Another nice addition that this team has picked up. They've made some nice additions over the winter. It's just, can they bring it all together? And it seems like they're all coming together right now. They've played some great baseball.
And we out of play over the Blue Jays dugout. Day games are a little bit of a challenge. It is an overcast day outside here in St. Pete, so the roof is not as bright as it normally would be on a sunny day, but it's still challenging with all the infrastructure up there. The catwalks, the support beams, the lights, lots going on. Ball in the air as a defender, you better keep your eye on it.
We saw that the other day, first day in here. Hernandez hit a ball off of one of those rings.
Another fly ball into center. Pilar, now he's got it. He didn't see it for a moment there, but he looked up into the right area and stayed with it. Take a look at the rest of the defense, how it sets up for the Blue Jays. 2 outs here in the second. Pilar knows all about this field, and he's got a youngster that he can help out over and left in Anthony Alford.
Yeah, getting the start today. Just called up. They put him in the lineup today to play some left field. We saw Dalton Pompey last night make a great catch. Anthony Alford gets the start today. He's been impressive when he's been healthy.
Daniel Robertson. Robertson is playing second base this afternoon. Check that he's playing shortstop. Danny Echeverria is out of the lineup. His 4th start at shortstop. He moves all around the infield. He started 7 games at third and 12 at second.
Heard him talking the other day that he doesn't like to do tee work anymore. Feels like that really messes up his swing. He's just trying to concentrate on catching the ball out in front, hitting the ball in front of home plate. Tee work doesn't really do it for him anymore. Well, whatever it is, it's working because he's hitting just under 300.
297 at the start of play this afternoon, 22 for 74 with 6 doubles and 3 homers. He's a good defender. Like I say, he can play all over the infield. The natural shortstop. Another fly ball into center. Pilar calls for it. And he makes the catch. Another easy inning for Marco Estrada. He gives up a single and nothing more. We'll move to the 3rd inning. Still no score.
The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage, and the code must be entered by 4 a.m.
Blue Jay fans are all over this ballpark, and their fan base travels very, very well. Blue Jay fans would love to see a win here today to avoid the sweep at the hands of the Tampa Bay Rays. Interesting matchup here as Luke Maile steps in against his former battery mate Chris Archer.
He should know him very well.
Maile goes after that first pitch fastball. That's something that Archer has established early in this ball game. He's going to throw that fastball on the first pitch. Maile caught Archer 4 times in 2016. That's the inconsistency we've talked about. He's bounced a couple of sliders. He's buried a couple of fastballs. We haven't seen that fluid delivery that we've become so used to with Chris Archer.
Looks like he slipped a little bit on the mound there. Spike's stuck. It's the slider, I think, that's a big pitch for him. Got to get it close enough for the Blue Jays to want to offer at it. It's been inconsistent this season. Here's another thing. He's only averaged 5 1/3 innings this year. I mean, he's been the ace of this team for a long time.
Maile hits it up the middle. Robertson to his left throws him out.
And he hasn't been able to get through 6 innings this year. That puts a toll on your bullpen. As a manager, you're expecting your ace to get you into the 8th or 9th inning. He's averaged 5 1/3 innings.
Yeah, you would like to have your starter give you 21 outs on a regular basis. That's the ideal number. Here is Aledmus Diaz, the shortstop. Aledmus had 2 hits in the game last night, a single and a double. He was 2 for 3. Had a 3-game hit streak with a couple of home runs there. Swinging a drive deep to center field. Alex Smith has good speed. He makes the catch in front of the wall in deep right center. And you can hear the crack of the bat off the bat of Aledmus Diaz. He squares it up.
Yeah.
He hits it with a lot of authority.
Hit that one the other way, a long way. He had his streak of back-to-back games with home runs snapped last night. He had a single and a double. He had homered in back-to-back games for the third time before last night. Thought he had one there.
Back to the top of the order. Teoscar Hernandez popped out to the first baseman his first time up. Hernandez has reached base safely in 18 of 21 games he's played into this point. A respectable 267 average, but the impressive part has been the extra base hits. He's got 15 extra base hits.
He's got bat speed. You know, when you watch him swing the bat, and as the barrel starts to go to the ball, it really accelerates through the strike zone. I think that's where he gets a lot of his power. He's not a real tall guy or a real big guy, but he's got a heck of a swing and lots of bat speed. You try to throw him inside like they did last night, and watch how he pulls his hands through and pulls the bat through very quickly. And he kept it on a level plane through the swing. Finishes high. That's home run number 5 on the season. He's just getting better and better.
Archer's ahead 1-2. And he comes with the slider and wraps up the strikeout. 3 strikeouts for Archer. Blue Jays are retired in order in the third.
That would make him better overall defensively and more versatile. But more than that, the area Alfred knew he had to grow in was mentally. He's only 23, but of course has a football background, and in that sport, Alfred wasn't used to failure and struggling. Than baseball, whereas he says there are way more bad games than good games. So what Alfred means mentally is being able to hit the reset button every day, not letting yesterday's 0 for 4, 0 for 5 play into the next day, and being able to come to the field with a new positive mindset every day, regardless of what happened the game before.
And it's a very different sport indeed. You play football in college on Saturday, then you have another full week to reset your mind and your body, but baseball's a different story, and you have to have a very short memory. You see he's getting himself oriented in left field there.
It's a game of failure. Baseball is. You know, you fail 7 out of 10 times as a hitter, you're a star. So you better learn how to deal with failure.
Alex Smith, he showed bunt and pulled the bat back. He can run. The Rays have 37 infield hits this season, and Alex Smith has a lot to do with that. He shows bunt again and takes it down for the ball.
And Josh Donaldson is way in at third base. He's almost daring him to bunt the ball to him. That's where he starts, way in on the grass, and as the pitch is on its way, he starts to come in just a little bit more. It's almost like a game between these two.
Alex Smith is 7th in the American League in batting. He has done a great job filling in center field for Kevin Kiermaier. And he takes the leadoff walk here in the third. That's not exactly what Estrada had on his mind, given the speed of Smith, who has 7 stolen bases.
And you know he's not going to be nailed down over there at first base. He's going to want to go. He's going to want to steal bases. Gomez is a free swinger. Carlos Gomez is the next hitter. So if you're Malik Smith, you want to go early in the count.
Gomez did not play in the game yesterday. He's back in there in right field this afternoon. Batting just 181 for the season. This is his 24th start in right field. Smith has a big lead. Estrada will chase him back. Maley has caught just 2 of 7 base stealers. Popped him up over the screen and out of play. Gomez never saw it off the bat. He was standing at home plate, not sure where it was, but it didn't make any difference. It was out of play.
Told you he's a free swinger. He's not real sure where it is. Neither does Luke Maley. Luke's played here before. He wasn't real sure where it was.
This time Smith has to dive back in ahead of the throw. What's the best way to neutralize a running game?
Well, there's all kind of ways. You can hold the ball like Estrada can do. You can slide step when you go towards home plate. You can try and pitch out, throw over.
He got a good jump. Maley with the throw. And Solarte got a glove on him but couldn't catch it cleanly, and Smith has his 8th stolen base of the season.
Solarte was negotiating, trying to get in front of the bag so he can catch the throw and then tag the runner. The runner was coming in and he was trying to go around him. There's Smith. He's going to get a good jump, picked on a good pitch, a changeup. You can see, Nervis was trying to get around that runner and then catch the ball and put the tag on all at once. And he's unsuccessful.
I like the fact that Smith never took his eyes off second base. He didn't look home. He was stealing the base. The only thing he was concerned about was getting to second base. He never lost his focus and took a glance toward home plate. 2-1 to Gomez. He goes after that high fastball. Base hit into center. Smith got a good read. Pilar is coming up throwing, and they stop Smith. Well, I'm a little surprised they stopped him. But with nobody out, they didn't want to take a gamble. Matt Cuzzaro, the third base coach, threw up the stop sign. Gomez has a single, so it's a walk and a single for Tampa Bay.
Even though he's got great speed and he had a great read, you don't want to run into an out. Pilar does an outstanding job of getting to this ball quickly and unleashing a throw, a one-hop perfect throw to the plate. It would have been close. It looked like Smith, when he put on the brakes, watch his right ankle bent just a little bit right there, and he's feeling that going back to the bag. But you're turning the lineup over. You don't want to run into an out.
Denard Span takes a first pitch strike.
Gomez is a flashy player, and he's like, that's going to be an RBI single. I know it is. He takes a quick look to see what the runner's doing. Very happy that he got a hit.
With that hit, Gomez's average is getting closer to 200. Denard Span, boy, he's been an RBI machine. He's got 24 RBIs. Denard Span has been a terrific addition to this Rays team. A veteran presence for sure.
They went through a lot of rough patches in spring training. It seemed like every day somebody else was going down with an injury. They lost their #1 prospect, Brett Honeywell. Nathan Eovaldi's been on the disabled list. Here's a good pitch.
Big strikeout for Estrada. That's the first out of the inning.
Kevin Kiermaier got hurt, excuse me, Buck. They got rid of Morrison and Souza and Longoria, but Kevin Cash's team has come up with some pretty decent players to fill those spots, and they've got onto a nice little roll lately.
Yeah, they really got off to a slow start with the bats, but you can see what they've done since April 16th. They have the best batting average in the American League, hitting nearly 300 as a team. C.J. Cron, there goes Gomez at first. The throw from Mailey's a good one, but he's safe. Mailey had another strong throw. Gomez is safe right ahead of the tag. His 4th steal in as many attempts.
Everybody's waiting to see if the Blue Jays are going to want to take a look at this one, but he got a good jump. Takes a look in very quickly. They're going to look at this one.
Well, a good tag by Solarte. Tagged him on the hip, and it's hard to tell whether or not that hand was on the base before the tag was applied. I'm not going to try to guess. We've been wrong so many times lately. It's ridiculous.
We've been wrong all the time. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Okay.
I'm going to say they're going to reverse it. They have to. It looked like he was touching him in the glove. There's the tag.
It's so hard to tell where that hand of Gomez was when the tag was applied.
That one shot we had from the catcher spot where he was tagging, it didn't look like his hand was on the base yet. Yeah.
He's out. So they overturned the call. There was clear and convincing evidence that the call on the field was incorrect. So John Gibbons will have his challenge still available.
This
Terrific
is it
tag.
right here. Quickly, boom, he's out and he's not on the bag.
Good job by Solarte to get in front of that base and put tag on Gomez. So now there are 2 outs. C.J. Cron behind 0-1. There's a very effective high pitch.
That was good usage of a high fastball. Not all the time. I think every now and then you can use that and throw it up there just to get him to chase at it, pop it up, swing through it, but then stay back down.
Here comes the base runner from third. Malik Smith trying to catch the Blue Jays napping, but they weren't. Estrada makes a strong throw to Mailey. Mailey come up to put the tag on the base stealer, trying to steal home before the Blue Jays were sent. Estrada alertly throws to the catcher. Malik Smith at third just walks and walks and walks. He breaks, and Estrada throws a strike to Mailey, and they tag out the runner to end the inning. keep them from scoring. Malik Smith with 2 outs breaks for home.
Yeah, as soon as Marco looks away, he thinks he can get it. But Marco did a good job of finishing his delivery. He didn't change his delivery at all. Everybody on the bench was yelling, "Here he comes." You could hear it from up here. The player saying, "Here he comes." He does a good job delivering a strike. Thought C.J. Cron might want to have swung at that pitch. It was right down the middle.
He was surprised that Smith would try to steal. Cron's their number 2 hitter in the lineup, and I was a bit surprised as well. But Marco will take it. He had a leadoff walk, a stolen base, a base hit. It was first and third with nobody out, and then Gomez was out on review after stealing second, and Smith is caught trying to steal home. Ball and a strike to Donaldson. Donaldson just 6 for 36 against Chris Archer. 2 of those hits have been home runs. Donaldson called for the swing. Home plate umpire Jeremy Rehack called him for a swing. That'll be the first out of the 4th. That's the 4th strikeout for Archer.
A little tighter slider that time and a little bit more depth, a little bit more break on his slider. I have asked the hitters, the Blue Jay hitters in the past, what makes them so tough. And it looked like Josh might have gone around on that one. I asked him, what does that slider look like? He said, it looks like a fastball, and all of a sudden it just, boom, takes off. That was his best slider of the day right there.
And Ever Solarte, he struck out on a slider in the 1st. He taps that fastball foul. Donaldson has now struck out 16 times against Chris Archer. Only Chris Davis has struck out more against Archer. Chris Davis of the Orioles has 17 strikeouts against Archer. Brett Gardner, he also has 16 strikeouts. There's that breaking ball. That's the pitch he struck out on in his first at bat.
The one that's down. I mean, that's exactly what a slider is supposed to do. It's supposed to put fastball in the mind of the hitter, but then slide off the hitting plane. And when you've got the one like he has, it's more like a hard curveball, but it still looks like a fastball out of his hand.
There's a better fastball from Archer as well. The last pitch was 96.
Yeah, he would constantly live at 96, 97 miles per hour.
There's a ball up the alley, and that's going to get down, and Gomez cuts it off to keep Solarte at first. They got good speed in the outfield here with the Rays.
The Honda Checkered Flag event is back. Hurry in to grab the Civic that matches your game.
No threatening weather outside, but we have the benefit of the roof here at Tropicana Field. 3rd and final game of this series and the 8th game of this road trip. Blue Jays are 3-4 on this trip to this point. Justin Smoak tapped out to the first baseman, a little grounder to first. His first time up. There's a drive that's going to get down in front of Gomez. Solarte will go to second. As Smoak has a base hit in his second at bat. Back-to-back one-out singles here. Blue Jays have a little bit better idea what they're dealing with for Archer in the second time through the order, and that's been his problem this season.
Yeah, look at the numbers. Second time through. Team's opponent's batting average of .339. So a little bit more information. Maybe he's starting to get a little bit tired. They've made him work today to get into the 4th inning.
From 45 pitches to this point. Okay, put yourself in Pilar's shoes. He had a slider for a double his first time up. What are you looking for now?
Number 1, I'm looking for a fastball right here, and I'm looking for it away. He likes to throw his fastball away.
There it is. Just a little bit up. Okay, now where are you going?
I don't know. to the broadcast booth. No, I'm going to look for something away again. I've got fastball in my mind, but I'm thinking maybe he'll throw a slider. But I'm looking away.
He's looking away and drives it to right. Gomez is going to make the catch. Solarte was halfway to third, so he has to stay put at second. And Pilar stayed on that ball very well.
Yeah.
Another slider, and he didn't try to pull it.
2 thoughts right now that I've noticed here in this inning. Gomez plays deep in right field, and it hurt him the first time on the smoke base hit, but it helped him that time. That looked like a double. I think if he was playing in his regular position, he's playing deep in right field today. That looked like a double off the bat by Pilar, but because he was playing a little bit deeper, you could see he's almost to the warning track in right field. I don't know if that's coming from the bench or their scouting reports or what it is, but he's a couple of steps deeper than normal.
Kendrys Morales. He flied out to left field his first time up. Archer continues to use that fastball to get ahead of these Blue Jay hitters.
Changeup. He'll throw changeups to left-handers. Now with the outfielders playing deep like that, Luis Rivera's picked up on that, and any base hit into the outfield, he's got to send Solarte. They've got decent throwing arms in the outfield. They're not outstanding. They're decent, but they're playing deep.
Oh, 0-2 pitch to Morales. Gets another fastball, and he pops it out of play into the seats. I think Blue Jays are a little bit surprised with as many fastballs they've gotten, especially Morales, who's gotten nothing but a steady diet of breaking balls all season long.
From everybody. He's been getting a lot of breaking balls, but Chris Archer has been throwing him fastballs and changeups. That was the pitch to hit right there. He missed his spot with that fastball. It was right there, and Kendrys missed it.
He's only got 3 pitches. He's given him 4 signs. Another 0-2 pitch. Foul tip. He couldn't hold on to it.
If he's going to throw that breaking ball, he's going to have to keep it down. That's been the kryptonite this year for Kendrys Morales, that breaking ball low in the strike zone.
No score. We're in the 4th.
Make him bring that breaking ball up so you can handle it.
Another fastball. The fastball has gotten better here in the 4th inning. He's thrown a couple 96-mile-an-hour fastballs. Solarte singled to right. Smoke did the same. First and second. Now there are 2 outs. He got a piece of it. Been a frustrating start for Morales. Heading under 160 for the season, 12 for 76. He has had good numbers against the Rays in general and spectacular numbers against Chris Archer. 16 for 32 in his career and even 500. Tried to hit that outside corner with that slider and missed.
Good take. That's a pitch that he's had trouble with this year. That breaking ball down and in.
Brooks Jacoby will sit there on the bench and try to pick up patterns from the opposing pitcher to help his hitters out. There's a good walk. He laid off that breaking ball, and Morales will.
3-2.
I thought that was ball 4. So did Morales.
Archer said, hey, wait a minute now. I thought it was 2-2. I wasn't going to throw a breaking ball. 3-2.
Now this is really interesting. So now if you're Morales, you say, okay, he threw me a breaking ball. He thought it was 2-2. Now it's 3-2. Is he going to throw me a fastball? If I'm Archer, I'm throwing another breaking ball. There go the runners. Hit hard, but they were playing him up the middle, and Robertson will throw him out. The Blue Jays get a couple of sinkers. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left on base. Has had a great start to his season. He's hitting .398. His on-base percentage is .455. The OPS over 1. In May, he's hitting .500. And he just gets hits every single night. He's got a 10-game hit streak, and he is just putting up ridiculous numbers in his first taste of AA baseball.
Yeah, big power numbers, and everybody's clamoring, okay, when is he coming to Toronto? I say hold off just a little bit, you know. First of all, if they bring him up here, where is he going to play? You got an MVP and an all-star at third base. That's the position Vladdy plays right now. Ross Atkins was talking the other day about finishing off his development. There's more to it than just putting up offensive numbers. There's defense, there's throwing, there's base running, there's leadership, being a good teammate, all of that. So his time will come.
Crone hits this ball deep to center. Pilar's on the run. He makes a running catch 2 strides short of the fence in center. Good job by Pilar to stay with it. Crone was at the plate when Alex Smith tried to steal home. Smith was tagged out and at the end of the inning, so he starts the inning with a deep drive to center.
The Blue Jays do something very interesting when Marco Estrada's on the mound. He's a fly ball type of pitcher, but they will play their outfielders a little bit deep. The fly balls that are generally hit against him are those lazy fly balls. What the Blue Jays are defending against are those hard hit balls that become extra base hits. That's why Pilar was able to get back and make that catch against the wall in center.
Yeah, the lazy fly balls that he gets will allow the outfielders a lot of time to run underneath him and catch him. The line drive, deep drives are the ones that Crone just hit. Those are the ones where you have to play deep to catch him.
Yeah, so they're just going to take, 3 or 4 steps back just to rob the guys of those types of hits.
Boy, so far you have to tip your cap to Marco Estrada, how well he has thrown that low fastball.
That's been beautiful today. I think that has set up everything this afternoon. He's kept it down. He has pitched off of that fastball. That's been down. This is a Rays team that has really hit him hard over the last few years, too.
Over Solarte. Looked like he got a piece of it. He just tipped it. It went into the outfield. Hernandez will play it back in. A one-out single for Matt Duffy.
Looked like Solarte timed his leap perfectly. He just wasn't tall enough to go get it. Here he is at second base. He gets set. Goes up. Just off of his glove. Third hit of the afternoon for the Rays. Marco. So that's all right. I'll get the next guy.
He was trying to help Solarte get a little bit of elevation there. Brad Miller at the plate. He takes one upstairs for ball one. The hit for Duffy is fourth in the three-game series. Miller grounded out to short. His only time up. Estrada would take one of those ground balls right now. There's a liner, but foul down the right field line.
It's a different type of lineup that the Rays are running out there. Gone are some of the great hitters that they've had here in the past. Hitters that have really hit Marco hard. Logan Morris at a .391 career hitter against him. Kevin Kiermaier out of the lineup because he's injured, a .348 hitter. So some new bodies out there for Tampa Bay.
And a different approach at the plate as well. We've seen a lot of hits go to the opposite field in this three-game series. You saw Kevin Cash on the bench. Next to him is his bench coach Charlie Montoyo, and Montoyo's got a stopwatch in his hands. He is timing the release times of Marco Estrada to help them get some information about when they might be able to steal. They have 2 stolen bases in this game so far this afternoon. Haley with a snap throw to first. Duffy's back easily. So you see Montoyo, he will start that stopwatch from the moment Estrada makes his first move, and then he will stop it when the ball hits the catcher's mitt.
You add that together with how long it takes the catcher to catch the ball and throw it to second base, and you've got a mathematical equation on can you steal or not.
Good time for a catcher is anything too flat or lower from the time he gets the ball till it hits the infielder's glove down at second. Miller takes ball 4. Second walk of the afternoon. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Jose Bautista is batting 5th in that lineup. He has walked in his only plate appearance this afternoon. Soroka, an interesting youngster, just 20 years old. A couple of walks and 3 strikeouts to this point, and he's got the lead. He won his major league debut first time out.
He's an impressive pitcher. They have some impressive players, young players. Taken a beating the last couple of years, but it's turned into some pretty decent young players coming up.
One out, first and second for the Rays. Here's where Ramos has really done a good job for Tampa Bay. He's hitting .444 with runners in scoring position this season. He is 12 for 27 in those situations, and he hits the ball to the right side in this situation often. He was waiting on that pitch out over the plate. He singled to left field his first time up. That extends his hit streak to 14 straight games.
He can pull the ball if he needs to, but in these situations, there's his numbers with runners in scoring position. He's not afraid to shoot the ball the other way. He's picked up a couple of RBI singles hitting the ball the other way in this series.
Plays out that ball down in the dirt.
You know what that does when you set your sights the other way? It slows your swing down. It slows your approach down, so you don't overcommit too early. Helps you to hit the breaking ball. It helps you to hit the fastball the other way.
Ground ball. Donaldson at third. Second for one. Solarte's return throw scooped by Smoke. That glove's been missing the last few games, and that time he helps out Solarte. That's the inning-ending double play. They played 4 here, no score. Time now for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Joe Siddle in the Samsung broadcast studio. So they had some time.
And he got an easier hop this time off the bat of Ramos. There's the throw down to second base. They go around the horn, picked at the end there by Smoke. That's 36 double plays turned by the Blue Jays this season. Second only to Texas. Pretty decent numbers around the horn, the exchange and getting rid of it. But when you've got a pitching staff full of ground ball pitchers, you better be able to turn double plays.
Of course, the exception to that is Marco Estrada, but he got a ground ball there, a much needed ground ball to get him out of the fourth. Anthony Alford making his first start of the season in left field. Anthony struck out on a wicked slider from Chris Archer. Archer has 4 strikeouts. You don't want to miss the fastball if you're having trouble with the slider.
Yeah. Be ready. Be geared up early in the count for that fastball. He's going to challenge you. You're a young player. He's going to challenge you to see if you can hit his fastball.
Slider off the plate. 2 balls and a strike to Anthony Alford. Lined into center. That's going to get down for a hit. Anthony Alford with a leadoff single. He got on that slider. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell.
Catcher, Lou Bailey.
You know what's really interesting about that?
What's that?
Soroka's hitting 8th.
Really?
Yep. Inciarte's hitting 9th in the lineup. Soroka's hitting 8th. Brian Snitker knew what he was doing. Soroka has a hit. Alford has a hit. A leadoff single now, Luke Maile.
I know he's tough to hit, Chris Archer. But is this the time to play hit and run? You're struggling to score runs.
There he goes. Called it right. And another thing Alford can do is run. He is credited with a stolen base, but indeed that was a hit and run. But Wilson Ramos has not thrown out a base stealer all season long. He's now 0 for 11.
11. And you've got a guy who can run a little bit. They put the runner in motion. It's a hit and run. Luke's trying to make some contact, high fastball. But that high fastball ends up being a high throw down to second base. Stolen base.
Bailey drives it deep to right. Gomez back, still going back, and he makes the catch. Alford tags at second. And Anthony did a terrific job of getting anchored at second base. If Gomez doesn't make the catch, he can score easily from second with his speed. But Maile, with a productive at bat, pushes Anthony Alford over to third.
That ball was slicing on Gomez. He has to turn one way and then turn back the other way because it was slicing so much, but he stayed with it, made the catch. Yeah, and kudos to Alford reading the outfielder, staying right on that base so he can tag up and move up. You're not real sure. Is he going to catch it? What's he going to do? Let me get to the bag, tag up, and I can make it look easy.
Well, that was a great illustration of how you make that play if you're a base runner. Now the infield is drawn in for Aledmus Diaz. Diaz drove one deep to center field. He'll take that same result last time that he hit that all the way to center field. That would score a run for the Blue Jays. Gomez, the right fielder, made a heck of a play on that ball off the bat of Luke Maile. That ball was twisting him all different directions. He's a former Gold Glover. As a center fielder,
yeah,
yep, in Milwaukee. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball. Good read by Alford. Now can Diaz beat Archer to the base? Yes, he does. And now Diaz is down in a heap. He may have stepped on Archer. Archer fell over, and Diaz is hurt.
That might have been one of those plays at the base where you step on it and you twist your ankle. You don't step on it correctly. He is hustling down that line so fast.
Josue Pele, the interpreter, out there to assist in the examination of Diaz. Archer got there same time the base runner did. Boone Chong, an assistant trainer, is attending to Diaz.
And when that happens, there's not a lot of room for both of the feet on the base, so you don't hit it squarely like you need to. We saw this with Troy Tulowitzki, how he twisted his ankle. He hasn't played since. We're hoping it's not that.
Now part of the Tampa Bay trading staff is out to help out if needed. Well, what a tough break. That was a terrific play by Miller to go up high and stab that bouncing ball and then flip it to Archer, but Diaz and Archer arrived at the bag at the same time.
Alford's going to score. Watch, there's just not a lot of room to get that bag, and he hits the edge of that bag and goes down.
Oh, that's where it happened. He missed the bag, hit the side of it, and it rolls over. And then he and Archer get tangled up as well past the bag. Diaz doesn't want to be carted off. It looks like he wants to walk off, but I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
and you can see they're calling for a cart. Yeah. So it's going to come out of center field, it looks like. Yeah, there's no reason to take any chances until they can get some x-rays and see the extent of the injury.
Carry him off. They're looking for the cart. Here it comes out in center field.
Where does Gurriel anticipating he's going to go into the game. Aledmys Diaz just really starting to get things going with the bat. He drives in the first run of the game, and here's another look at him.
Thinking base hit. He always runs hard down that first base line, and again just hits it a little bit off center. Twists that ankle. Go get some x-rays and let's hope that it's just twisted.
Unfortunate situation for Diaz. We hope that it comes out positive for him. So Gurriel will indeed take over at first base as the pinch runner for Diaz.
Your attention, please. Pinch running for the Eagles, 13, Gurriel Jr.
And now they will take him inside the clubhouse into the trainer's room, and all these ballparks now have x-ray machines, and they'll examine it, determine the extent of the injury.
Now batting 37, Oscar Hernandez.
Infield in, and it looked like the Blue Jays were playing the contact play. Chris Archer just hesitates for a second and then tries to make up that time, but he's just a little bit late.
Yeah, you're right. There was a hesitation before he broke for first. Gurriel takes over as the pinch runner. A run in as Anthony Alford scored from third. Alford had a single, stole second, and scores on the infield base hit. Back to the top of the order. Now they're making sure the fence in center is locked tight, and it is, and we will continue. Teoscar is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He struck out in the third. One to nothing Blue Jays. If the Yankees, as if they needed any more help, Domingo Germán pitching for New York today, throwing a no-hitter through 5 2/3. Mike Clevenger has allowed just one hit in a scoreless tie in the bottom of the 6th in New York.
Is he starting for the Yankees?
Yep. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, no hits through 5 2/3.
Wow. He was coming out of the pen when the Blue Jays were facing him.
Two and 0 to Hernandez. Tried to check his swing and went around.
There's some respect. Words getting around that Hernandez is a pretty good hitter. 2 and 0. No more fastballs. He throws him a slider. We have seen Teoscar take that ball the other way. Told you some interesting defensive alignment for the Rays. You can see the right fielder Gomez is right on the line. Look at the alley that he can shoot for. Hernandez.
Hits this one high and deep into that alley. Malik Smith is back at the track, jumps and makes the catch. Gurriel will head back to first as Hernandez put a charge in it. Chase Malik Smith all the way to the fence in deep right center.
That is a long way to hit the ball the other way. And the speed of Smith gets back there. Takes that fastball inside part of the plate, crushes it to right center. But the speed of Smith runs that one down, makes a nice catch. He had a little bit more room before he got to that wall than what he thought. That's a long drive by Hernandez.
Now with 2 outs, Josh Donaldson steps in. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Anthony Alford started this inning with a leadoff single. Stole second, moved to third on the fly ball off the bat of Luke Maley and scored on an infield base hit by Ledmus Diaz. And Alford hit a slider.
I don't know if he could have done that a couple of years ago when we first saw him. Very raw player, but each year Anthony's getting better and better. He's putting the time in, he's putting the work in. I think he's understanding the game of baseball. You can see it right now. He's talking to Brooke Jacoby, the hitting coach.
Donaldson strikes out for a second time, but the Blue Jays score first here this afternoon in Tampa Bay. Anthony Alford scores on an infield hit off the bat of Ledmus Diaz. 1-0 Jays for Marco Estrada.
Meanwhile, on the Diaz injury, Buck, a reminder that on the 40-man roster, the Blue Jays only have middle infielders available named Devin Travis and Richard Urania. So if they're going to have to replace him, they would have to come either from one of those two players or via trade or free agency.
Yeah, I would think they would probably just call Urania back. He was just sent back down as Gurriel takes over at shortstop. But Urania has just been optioned back to Buffalo.
Well, maybe they can catch him at the airport. Take the next flight to Toronto.
So 1-0 game. Marco delivers that first pitch for a strike. This is Joey Wendell, who is now 0 for his last 12. Estrada has been very good in his command of his fastball. Thrown a lot of quality strikes down in the zone.
Pete Walker has talked about that's key for him to be able to use that fastball and throw it where he needs to. He can cut the ball if he needs to. Curveball every now and then. But when you throw as many fastballs as Marco does, you have to spot it. You have to put it in a good spot. He's given up home runs off the fastball, too many. 7 home runs have come off of his fastball. That's just location.
There's a fastball away from Wendell. It's a lazy fly ball into center. For 1 out, let's check it with Jamie Campbell. Well, there has just been one combined no-hitter. The Dodgers threw one in Monterrey, Mexico against San Diego. So Herman, who has been working out of the bullpen, no hits through 6 innings and 9 strikeouts.
Why did he go into the starting rotation? Who are we missing? Saw Sonny Gray yesterday, CC the day before. Oh, that's right. The lefty got hurt his last start.
Yeah, Jordan Montgomery was out of it. So that was the first start of the season. The most pitches Herman had thrown prior to today was 61 in his last relief outing. He went 4 innings in that outing. So they were able to get 6 innings out of him this afternoon. One ball, 2 strikes to Daniel Robertson, the shortstop.
See, that's what happens when you catch a hitter looking for your changeup. You can spot that fastball, throw it right on the inside corner, and he'll take it. And if you're reading bats and you're watching what Robertson's trying to do here, he's sitting on that changeup.
Lifts it high in the air to right field. Hernandez coming in. 2 away.
The Lawn and Garden event is on now until May 15th, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Here's how.
Downtown St. Petersburg, that is the Vinoy Hotel. And there's a beautiful marina there with a couple of those big-time yachts parked outside the hotel. Mallex Smith had leadoff walk in the 3rd, stole second base, and he was at third base with 2 outs when he tried to steal home, tried to catch Estrada sleeping. Marco was in the windup and he never hesitated. He just continued his windup and threw a good pitch to Luke Maley, who tagged out Smith. It was kind of a curious time to steal home with the number 2 hitter, C.J. Cron, at the plate. Scoreless game at the time.
Yeah. That guy's usually an RBI type of guy. You want to see what speed does to the infield? Look how everybody is shortening up on Smith. Second baseman's in, first baseman's in, Donaldson is in. Now they can move back just a little bit, not too much, not like a big power hitter, but shortens everybody up.
Yeah, most times when you have a hitter at the plate, the middle infielders will play right on the edge of the dirt. But with the speed of Smith, you have to respect that. And little chopper had an infield hit yesterday to the shortstop.
Well, you bring guys in like that, you can just slap it right by you. But you have to respect his speed and stay in. He's done a good job for him. Came into this game at 337.
Smith walks for a second time. 3rd walk issued by Estrada. And that's a big walk in a 1-run game.
Now you have a home run hitter at the plate. And you've got some speed at first base. I'd rather see Gomez leading off the inning.
So Carlos Gomez, he had a single lined into center field his first time up, and then he was called out stealing by review, video review. He was safe initially. They overturned it, and he was called out for the second out of that inning. That was back in the third. Pitch out. Smith wasn't going there. Do you pitch out twice in a row?
No. You got 2 outs. If you're going to go, that's the best time to go, right after a pitch out.
Modest lead, not running. Broken bat, little pop up into shallow center. Pilar keeps coming, and that's going to drop. Smith is around third, and they're going to stop him there, and Gomez will go into second. He hit that pop up, broke his bat. The ball fell safely in shallow right field. Gomez alertly moves into second base. Malik Smith was stopped at third.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays might have caught a break. Watch the runner Smith, who's got outstanding speed, just starts to jog. If he busts it, maybe you can send him. Once it hits the turf and bounces up that high, he can only get to third base. With that kind of speed, you never want to take anything for granted. That's just a jog for him, and now he realizes it's a hit, and he tries to turn it on. It's too late.
Too late. Boy, that's a good pickup by you, Pat. Indeed, he was just jogging off first base, assuming it was going to be the third out of the inning. So he can't score. So Estrada has a chance to get out of it. Back to the top of the order. Denard Span is 0 for 2. Smith took a big break from third, and Gomez almost took off himself from second. He said, hey, calm down a little bit over there.
At least give me a sign if you're going to do that again. Marco's electing to go out of the windup again. A lot of time pitching coaches will give the pitcher the option. Hey, do you want to go out of the stretch or do you want to go out of the windup? 2 outs, runner at third base.
Denard Span, 24 RBIs to this point, among the leaders in at bat per RBI. Fly ball to center. Pilar drifting back. He's got plenty of room, and that'll end the inning. Malik Smith may have cost the Rays a run by not hustling off the bag with 2 outs. We talked about the yachts. Pat and I took a 3-hour cruise on Saturday.
Your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Blue Jays home screen icons and features such as MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, radio broadcast stats, and more. You can download MLB at Bat today. Have a good day across MLB. Yadier Molina, Jacob deGrom, Clayton Kershaw, all on the disabled list today, guys.
Wow. Some of the big stars in the game, and Clayton Kershaw's not had a good start to his season, and now it's taken a turn for the worse. In New York, Mike Clevenger pitching for the Indians against New York. He's allowed just 1 hit through 6 innings, 2 strikeouts, or 2 walks and 9 strikeouts.
That looked like a changeup from Archer. He throws it about 10% of the time, and he'll throw them to left-handed batters. Doesn't throw too many changeups to right-handed hitters.
He's had a good fastball most of the afternoon. That last pitch 96 miles an hour. He's in good shape with the pitch count. Just thrown 77 pitches to this point. Fly ball, that's going to slice foul up down the left side. Duffy's the third baseman. He's at shortstop. It's interesting how they mix it up with their different players according to who's hitting. This is Robertson, the shortstop, from the second base side. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell again.
Number 14, Justin Song.
Is he the best pitcher in the game?
Yeah.
I think so. And he is the one pitcher that has lived up to every penny of his contract. He's been consistent. Walked 1, struck out 11 in 4 1/3.
He talks about that too, about earning the money. I'm the guy. You know, they paid me to go out there and pitch and to dominate. I think they've got a few more years left on that contract too. But that was worth it. What a 1-2 punch, him and Steven Strasburg for Washington.
And they're still having their issues in Washington. 17 and 17 find themselves in 4th place, 3.5 back of the front-running Atlanta Braves. How about this NL East? Atlanta, Philadelphia leading the pack. Phillies got off to a bad start, and then they just settled in and turned things around. Atlanta, nobody expected this from the Braves. Smoke hits one to left field. Span was shaded in that direction, and he gets there, makes the catch.
Is it 2020? I mean, that's what everybody was thinking, that Atlanta and Philadelphia are rebuilding for 2020. But here it is, 2018, and look who sits on top. Alex Anthopoulos' team, the Atlanta Braves.
And they have just brought up Jose Bautista to play third base. Soroka starting today against the Giants in Atlanta. He is now trailing 2-1 as he's given up 2 runs on 6 hits. Kevin Pillar has doubled, his 14th double of the season. Boy, he's covering just about every part of the strike zone.
You know what I think it is? I think it's pitch recognition. He's recognizing pitches earlier, and he's taking good swings. Recognizing if it's a strike or a ball. He's swinging at strikes.
High fly ball into shallow right. Gomez is there. Archer has a quick inning. 3 up, 3 down, top half of the 6th. Marco Estrada's shutting out the Rays on just 4 hits. time through the order, the league's hitting 204. Second time, 306, and it jumps to 400. Third time through the order, and that's where they are now. Number 2 hitter, C.J. Cron, will face Marco Estrada for the 3rd time this afternoon.
So I say just keep doing what you've been doing today. Keep spotting your fastball where you need to. If you have to throw a few more curveballs, because we haven't seen too many of those, go ahead and throw some of those too. Until they prove that they're hitting you, why change anything?
Yeah, there have been not too many good swings here this afternoon. C.J. Cron is 0 for 2. Blue Jays bullpen is quiet. Changeup, Cron takes. There's a fastball strike. Three and one to Cron. And he walked him. It's the 4th walk of the afternoon. Leadoff walk here in the 6th. Let's check in with Jamie Kemble.
Number 5, Manfred.
It is indeed Mike Clevenger for the Indians, pitching well. Also, this is Tyler Clippert starting to loosen up. Clippert threw 14 pitches yesterday, and he is first up for the Blue Jays.
Before the inning starts, the pitching coach will call down to the bullpen coach and say, hey, look, if he starts to get into trouble, this is who I want up, and have him up fast. Clippert knew that before this inning even started. He was down there throwing moving a little weighted ball around to get his shoulder loose. He was jogging just a little bit to get his legs loose, and now he's starting to throw.
Duffy caught by Solarte, double play. Solarte earlier had one go off his glove. This time he gets up and turns it into a double play.
Wow, what a play. Marco Estrada appreciates the effort right there from Solarte. Get up, take a base hit away from that hitter. Duffy singled. I think it was Duffy who hit the ball off of his glove last time. This time he goes up and gets it, and now he fires over to first base. Hardest part about that whole thing was trying to make an accurate throw with that runner in your way.
Popped up back behind home plate, and it'll be out of play. Yeah, he threw quickly, and you just don't know if that runner's going to be in line.
Defensive play of the game so far.
Well, Marco Estrada's not one to get double plays turned behind him, but the Blue Jays have turned 2 today. And that double play erases the leadoff walk. Fly ball to right. No problem for Hernandez. The inning is no problem for Estrada. He walked C.J. Cron to start the inning, and then Matt Duffy hit a line drive, and Yannis Solarte gets up, elevates, and snares the line drive, and then turns it into a double play with a quick throw to first.
Accident last month that led to his third major injury in as many years. That play at second base that he says he's done 1,000 times. And Kiermaier says if I had the same opportunity, I'd do it again. And he said when I come back, I will. He told me I can't tone down my play. I just don't operate that way. And Kevin said, quote, I would do myself or my team no good if I limit myself offensively or defensively. Buck?
Now, he's a very good player. The only thing I would suggest is maybe he learns how to slide feet first instead of head first, and that's how you jeopardize those injuries. You have your hands and your thumbs and your wrist. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong with that head first slide.
If you're Solarte, your face.
High fly ball to the left. Span circling back just in front of the wall, and Morales makes the catch. Yes, Solarte in that face plant he did.
But that might be a good thing because ever since then he's been raking.
Solarte with a hit in 3 at-bats this afternoon. Blue Jays have 1 run on 5 hits. That's it. Anthony Alford has scored the only run in this game.
So far, that's all they've needed. And it's thanks to his legs right there. You mentioned the hit. It was on a slider. He stole second base. He tagged up beautifully on a long fly ball to right field. Scored on that infield hit.
His first career stolen base. Helped him get around the bases. He stole second, and then he did a pretty good job of tagging on that deep fly ball to right off the bat of Luke Maile. Way outside with the slider.
A lot of times young kids will get a little anxious when they're out at second base and confused to not know, should I tag up, should I stay, what should I do? He did it perfectly. Kudos to the base running instructors in the minor leagues.
Hits this one into right. Gomez coming in quickly. He's got great speed. He makes the catch. Just check it again with Jamie Campbell.
Number 21, Luke Maile.
What a ball game going on at Yankee Stadium. 8th inning, a 0-0 game. Each team with 1 hit. Yonder Alonso breaking up the no-hitter. Luke Maile's at bat in the 5th inning, an important part of the Blue Jays run. He drove the ball deep enough to the opposite field to advance Alford from second to third.
They tried to advance that runner on a missed hit and run. But the speed of Alford got him into second base with a stolen base, and then Luke would advance him with that long fly ball. Talent. We're seeing it. Blue Jays slowly are getting younger and more athletic.
Outside. Oscar Hernandez came up after starting in the minor leagues, and he has done a terrific job playing mostly in right field lately. Luke Maile spent parts of 2 seasons with the Rays. There's another youngster that's had an impact early on since he was promoted. He came in the ball game for Aledmus Diaz, who stumbled over the bag and had some sort of ankle injury, it appeared. Maile strikes out. 6 strikeouts for Archer. But the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th. afternoon. He goes 6 innings, no runs on 4 hits. He walked 4, but he got a couple of double plays turned behind him, and he can certainly hold his head up high as he has done his job here this afternoon.
He pitched brilliantly this afternoon. We mentioned at the top part of the show that he had his troubles with Tampa Bay last year, an ERA over 10, 0-4 in 4 starts. Much better today. Fastball command outstanding. Put it where he needed to. It really set up for his changeup. 6 shutout innings for Estrada, 3 strikeouts. He will give way to Tyler Clippard. Clippard's been outstanding this year in 18 games. 4-0 with a 156 earned run average. You and I had a chance to visit with him the other day, and he was talking about all the teams that he goes around and plays on. And he asks certain pitchers, hey, how did you hold that? I want to improve this. And he's known for a great changeup. Guess who we went to talk about how he holds his changeup? Marco Estrada. He asked Marco how he held his, compared notes, and he's been outstanding this year.
He sure has, as he was charged with an unearned run yesterday. He had a strikeout with just 14 pitches in the ballgame. He gave up a leadoff double to Malik Smith, and he eventually came around to score on a sac fly.
I think that last inning by Marco was very important. You got to figure Osuna has to pitch today and Tepera have to pitch today. Blue Jays have the lead. They're going to pitch the 9th and the 8th, so you need 1 inning from Tyler Clippard. It's been great.
Oh, Ramos gets his 2nd hit of the afternoon, a sharp single to left.
It's just the 8th hit given up this year by Tyler Clippard, and it comes to a pretty hot hitter.
So now Joey Wendell, he's had a tough afternoon, and he has seen his offer extend to 13 straight. Fastball outside. Wendell did not face Clippard in the game yesterday. One and one now. Matt Andriese loosening up for Tampa Bay. Chris Archer has been equally as good as Estrada. He's allowed just 5 hits through 7 innings. We have been given an update on the status of Aledmus Diaz, who left the ball game with an injury. It is diagnosed as a left ankle sprain. X-ray showed no fracture. He is day-to-day. Well, that's good news, and he will have an MRI to further evaluate the extent of that injury. 2-1 to Wendell. Popped it up. Gurriel backing up into the outfield. He has room, makes the K. 1 away.
The 2018 Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen.
Sunny afternoon here in St. Petersburg. Blue Jays will fly to Toronto after this game, enjoy an off day before welcoming in the Seattle Mariners on Tuesday night. Our first look at Seattle this season. Daniel Robertson has flied out twice.
I found it interesting when we were talking to Clippard about, he's been around for a long time and he's pitched with a lot of different teams. He wanted to improve his changeup, so he goes to Marco Estrada and asks him about his changeup. I mean, here's a guy who just wants to keep getting better and better and better.
Fastball.
What did he say? He doesn't. If you're not trying to get better, you're being stagnant. You're going to be out of the game.
Toronto is his 8th team, and he has told us that whenever he goes to a new team, he will strike up conversations with some of his relievers and try to figure out what makes them effective with a particular pitch, and tries to analyze whether that will help him further his career. His 12th big league season. Tampa Bay has done a pretty good job in this 3-game series of laying off that high fastball. The only hitter that's really chased it has been Carlos Gomez, and he's been like that for his entire career.
The Tampa Bay Rays led the world in strikeouts last year. This year their approach is much better.
There's a high changeup as Robertson strikes out. 2 outs now for Tyler Clippard.
Just the 4th strikeout this afternoon for the Blue Jay pitchers. It's a big one. You want to elevate that changeup, and Robertson can't get to it. Messed up the timing. That's the split. And it doesn't move. It stays up there.
Alex Smith has walked both times he's come to the plate. He takes strike 1 from Clippard. That's going to be out of play. Bottom of the 7th inning, Blue Jays trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game series. The Rays have been on quite a roll after starting out 1-8, 3-12, and 4-13. Tampa Bay has won 11 of their last 14 games. They're trying to get to 500 for the first time since they were 1-1. Blue Jays are 2 games over 500, 6.5 back of the front-running Red Sox. This strikes out. Tyler Clippard a couple of strikeouts after leadoff single. We're at Tropicana Field, and thankfully we have a roof because outside there's a thunderstorm going on. Seven complete innings. He is on the wrong side of a 1-0 claim, but he threw the ball very well. 97 pitches. He gave up just the 1 earned run, 5 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, better command with that fastball, and his slider looked better than some of the sliders that I saw he threw earlier this season. Had some depth to it, had a little bit of speed to it. He had 6 strikeouts and no walks in those 7 innings. He will give way to Matt Andriese, the big right-hander. In 9 games, he's been used as a long man out of the pen. He's used in certain situations. 17 2/3 innings this year for Matt. He's had 20 strikeouts and just 2 base on balls. Got that natural cutter fastball. Little split and a curveball.
Lourdes Gurriel will get his first at bat of the afternoon. He took over as a pinch runner when Ledmus Diaz tripped over the bag at first and had to leave the game. Gurriel was 1 for 3 with a home run yesterday. That's a foul ball outside of third. Matt Andriese was on the mound Wednesday afternoon in Detroit when the Tigers had a walk-off squeeze bunt.
He's a valuable type of pitcher because he's an inning eater out of the bullpen. You can start him. He's done that before. Throws a lot of strikes, gets a lot of ground balls when he's on.
It was the third time he was on the mound for a walk-off loss. Pitched very well here in this ballpark over the last 2 seasons. He's 4-0 pitching at Tropicana Field compared to 1-6 on the road. One ball, 2 strikes to Gurriel. Ripped into left field. Span over to cut it off. Gurriel will round it and hold it first. Let's check in again with Jamie Kemble. Thank you very much. And we have just seen the Cleveland Indians, of course, in that doubleheader on Thursday, and they're starting to swing the bats much better. And they have taken the lead. Lindor with an RBI, Naquin with a first RBI, and it's 2-0 Cleveland.
What a series that has been, that Yankees-Indians series. Yankees won 7-6 on Friday. They won 5-2 on Saturday, and now the Indians are up by 2.
They both figure to be playoff teams. Cleveland just now starting to get things sorted out with their bats. Oh, and 2. Hernandez behind quickly. Teoscar was 2 for 4 in yesterday's game. Hit his 5th home run of the season. Good breaking ball as Hernandez strikes out.
Yeah, lots of ground balls and lots of strikeouts when he is on. He missed his spot with the slider against Gurriel, and he ripped it into left field. He comes back and throws a better one here to Teoscar Hernandez. Look at the movement that he gets on that pitch.
Josh Donaldson is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts so far this afternoon. Blue Jays could use some insurance. Strike 1. Donaldson has never hit for much of an average in this ballpark, but he has 8 career home runs in his previous 35 games. Overall, Donaldson has hit 15 home runs against the Rays.
He's faced Andriese 8 times, and he's had 3 hits against him. If he wants that right side, it's wide open for him.
Pulled on the ground to third. Duffy goes to second in the dirt. Nice scoop at second by Wendell for the force out.
It's time to fire up your senses. Your best experience begins with Broil King, available at your local home hardware. Here's how.
Lots going on a Sunday afternoon here in the Tampa Bay area. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Both pitchers, the starters, Marco Estrada and Chris Archer, very effective here this afternoon. And Ever Solarte is 1 for 3, but he might have made the most important play of the day with a double play in the 6th. Matt Duffy hit a liner that looked like it was headed into right field, but Solarte caught it and doubled off C.J. Cron at first.
Yeah, and on this turf, it might have even gone for a double. That's how hard he hit it. But he turned it into a double play. Observe that shutout. Now he needs to come up with a big hit. He's come up with a bushel load of big hits for the Blue Jays on this road trip. Grand Slam game winner in game number 1 in Cleveland.
Set a franchise record in that doubleheader with 8 hits in a doubleheader. Most hits for a player in a doubleheader in franchise history. He and Donaldson also teamed up to homer in each end of a doubleheader. First time that's ever happened in Blue Jays franchise history as well. He's been a nice addition to this ball club.
3-0. Pick one out.
Ball 4. So the walk will push Donaldson to second and bring Smoke to the plate. Smoke had a base hit in the 4th in his return to the lineup. He also had a nice scoop over at first base on the double play back in the 4th inning. Ramos hit one to third. It was a 5-4-3 double play. The throw was low and Smoke dug it out of the dirt.
Smokey's had some big numbers too in his career against Matt Andriese. He's hit a couple of home runs against him. Home run now would be sweet.
Little breathing room. Outside. But Donaldson, he really took a big aggressive lead at second base. Now, Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, has made his way toward the mound, and he will have a mound visit here. It's a 1-run game.
It's probably reminding him about the numbers that Smoke has put up in his career against Andriese. Said, hey, you know, you have a base open if you want to. There are the numbers right there. 6 for 7 with a couple of home runs. Don't get too cute here.
So the message has been delivered. The walk by Andriese, the first walk that Tampa Bay has given up here this afternoon, and Smoke takes his strike. 1-1 now to Smoke. Blue Jays have had so many heartbreaking losses in this ballpark. You'd love to see them get a couple more runs. That's fouled off at the plate.
Need that insurance. You got your setup man and then your closer coming in. It'd be nice to see a few more runs on the board.
The Rays for the season have played 15 1-run games. They are 5-10, and they're in another 1-run game now. Cut on and foul tip into the catcher's mitt that ends the inning. Blue Jays will leave a pair. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 1-0 Blue Jays lead. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. He's Jeremy Campbell and Joe Siddle in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Great list of packages available for bid. All proceeds go to support Jays Cares. Hashtag Unstoppable Kids across Canada. The bidding opens during Blue Jays Central, and fans can visit jayscare.com/broadcast auction to see the full list of packages. For May 9th, I was perusing them, Mr. Martinez.
Yes.
And I see the Sportsnet broadcast experience includes a visit with you and Tabby.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
priceless.
Oh, yeah, priceless,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But it's a very good experience because fans can come up the booth and have a shot at what we see from our vantage point, and they get a chance to take some pictures, and it's a pretty good deal. Ryan Tepera in to start the 8th inning, his 18th appearance. He's had another good start to his season.
Solidly has taken over that 8th inning job right in front of Roberto Osuna.
I think it's a nice order to have Tyler Clippard pitch the 7th, and then Tepera coming in with his fastball slider combination, and then you've got Osuna with that great fastball. You got to turn it up a notch to catch up with Tepera.
Yeah, there are 3 different pitchers. Clippard's a lot like Marco Estrada. So that inning, that extra inning with the changeup and the splitter, the same result. Another shutout inning for Clippard. Tepera now a little bit better fastball, better slider.
Tepera has not faced Carlos Gomez in the past. So now with his 2-2 count, Tepera has been able to wipe out the right-handed hitters with that hard slider. There's the slider. He left it on the inside part of the plate, and that one's going to get out of here. Carlos Gomez has tied it up with his 5th home run of the season. He went with that slider but didn't get it away.
Yeah, he's at his best when he's painting that thing away, and you've got a guy with 2 strikes. He likes to swing hard for all 3 chances. They've talked about his energy and his swagger that he has brought to this team, and he comes up with a big home run to tie this game up.
How many times have we seen this here in this ballpark? Tampa Bay coming on late. You can see that slider just stayed out over the middle of the plate, and he squared it up. Maley knew it immediately, so he dropped his head. Ground ball is short. Gurriel gloves it and fires on the run. Span's retired. One away. Well, the home run was disappointing for the Blue Jays, but not for that Rays fan. The kid out there in left field in a Kiermaier jersey made the catch on the home run ball, and that's what it's all about. Look at the smile on that face.
Playing like Kevin Kiermaier. Grabbing that one. Nice. Now he's got to call all his friends. Tell all his friends about it.
Yeah, he had to call him. He couldn't wait till he got home. One to one. The hits are even at 6 apiece. C.J. Cron fouls it back. Ball and a strike on Cron. The Blue Jays have had a terrible time trying to finish off games in this ballpark over the years. Just that kind of situation. They get down late in the game. They give up a walk, a base hit. Somebody steals a base. We've seen losses, walk-off losses with that first and third bunt. And now Gomez hits a solo home run here in the 8th to tie it. Different story for the Rays in their last 14 games coming into this game. They had hit 21 home runs and they were averaging almost 6 runs a game. They hadn't hit many home runs early in the season, but lately the home run has been a big part of their offense.
Yeah, they're still 22nd in major leagues in home runs. That was a timely home run. You know what they've really done, and they've hit with runners in scoring position. That's where they really helped themselves.
Two and two to C.J. Cron. Now it's a full count. Matt Duffy is on deck. Duffy has a single this afternoon. The Blue Jays bullpen has been fairly consistent all season long, but lately they've ran into a bit of a rough patch. Well, that ball was well inside on Cron. The Blue Jays, the home runs allowed, they have now allowed 13 home runs. That's been a bit of an issue with the bullpen. But they're still first in the American League, but their ERA has jumped up to 2.98. It was in the low 2s early on.
They were leading for bullpen ERA in the American League.
Another walk. That's the 5th walk issued by the Blue Jays this afternoon. It comes with 1 out. Then the 8th. Cron walks for a second time. So Cron is out of the game. Ref Snyder takes over as a pinch runner for the DH. It's a tie game at 1-1.
John Axford gets up and starts to get loose for the Jays.
1 out. Duffy 1 for 3 so far this afternoon. Alex Colomé had a 5-out save yesterday, loosening up here in the bottom of the 8th. Oh, a good throw.
Balk.
The home plate umpire called a balk. Jeremy Rehak, you could hear him holler from behind the plate.
I think they need an explanation here, what that was all about.
Yeah, John has been ejected again. You can't argue a balk. And he was coming out, and the umpire held up his hand. Jeremy Rehak said, no, you can't come out on a balk call. So it's umpire's judgment call. So John Gibbons has been ejected for the last 2 games. He got thrown out in the 4th inning. Field in Colbert coming in. C.B. Buckner threw out Gibby yesterday, and this afternoon it is Jeremy Rehak, the home plate umpire. Now Field and Colbert, the crew chief.
That's directed at the Blue Jays bench. Somebody said something to the third base umpire.
Russell Martin was the catcher yesterday and had all sorts of issues with the strike zone. One and 0, 1 out. Runner now at second, and take a look at this balk called. I think they called him for the jump. He didn't take a step toward first base. He just jumped, and Gibbons knows he's going to be fired. You can see the umpire say, hey, you can't argue that. And he came out probably a little bit of frustration as well, as he's seen his lead evaporate here in the 8th. Ref Snyder now at second. Base hit. Ref Snyder is being stopped at third as Hernandez got to it very quickly. Duffy has his second hit of the afternoon. It's 1st and 3rd for Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay had a couple of runners on and did not score in the 3rd inning. They had runners at 1st and 3rd, ran themselves out of an inning, cost themselves a run. We had that shot of Malik Smith not hustling, cost them a run, and now they're going to hold that runner one more time. Probably a wise decision, as Hernandez got on the ball very quickly. Ref Snyder on the crack of the bat has to hold up.
First and 3rd, 1 out. The infield is in, and now Maley. He wants to talk to the defense. He's going out to talk to the entire infield. In this situation, of course.
Hey, he knows Tampa Bay better than anybody, doesn't he?
Exactly. He played here for 2 seasons. So they're all talking about the possibilities with that 1st and 3rd bunt play. I mean, there's a lot of things that Tampa Bay can do in this situation, trying to score that go-ahead run.
I'm with you. I mean, he had a definite message. If they do decide to square bunt, I'm not sure if they're going to do that, but if they do, this is how we want to defend it. They've got the infield in, especially if that runner takes off. He wanted to let him know where he's going to throw the ball, so a lot of possibilities.
Brad Miller at the plate. Well, Blue Jays got a call right there. Pitch looked like it was off the plate away.
Everybody has their eye on the third base coach. He usually will give a verbal sign if there's something on, and then voice a sign to that runner at third.
Upstairs.
I like how Josh Donaldson is keeping that runner close to third base. He'll go over there almost like a first baseman, holding him on, just so he doesn't get too far off. So if there is a ground ball to the infield and it's not hit hard, they'll have a shot to get that runner at the plate.
1-1 to Miller. Lays off that high fastball. Miller is 3 for 6 in this series. Hit a home run on Friday night, came into the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, and in his next at bat, he had a 2-run home run off Tim Meza to extend the Rays' lead. Good fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ref Snyder at third, Duffy at first.
All came down from the bullpen. So timeout. Look at Donaldson at third base. He's still keeping that runner close to the bag.
Big strikeout for TBA. Miller goes down swinging.
Ryan reached back for a little something extra right there. He knows he needed a strikeout. He just threw that fastball right by Brad Miller.
See, Miller is late on it and swings underneath it. So now another tough test for TBA. Wilson Ramos, the catcher, is 2 for 3. He's had 2 singles to left field. Breaking ball off the plate away. We have seen Ramos in this series hit balls through the right side of the infield, but the Blue Jays are still playing slightly to pull. And you see Solarte at second. This is a fly ball that's going to drop safely in foul territory. But again, Ramos taking a shot at that right side.
Yeah, he was definitely taking a shot over there. TBA throws a little bit harder than the 2 pitchers that Ramos pulled this afternoon. So he's taking a shot to try and ground the ball through the right side. Look at those numbers with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, he's had a good start to his season in that regard. Tampa Bay has a run in here in the 8th. Carlos Gomez with a leadoff home run. And tied it at 1-1. Two balls and 2 strikes now. Ramos got a piece of it to stay alive. Axford is standing by ready down in the Blue Jays bullpen. Alex Colomé, he too is just lobbing now. He has gotten loose and he's just staying ready. There's Axford. He's been ready for a while. And Colomé as well. Ground ball. Donaldson will take his time. But the Rays tie it up. A leadoff home run by Carlos Gomez, his 5th of the season. It's a 1-1 game as we go to the 9th. this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. That's what baseball is all about. A young fan came to the ballpark, brought his glove, brought his pals, and he catches the home run ball off the bat of Carlos Gomez. It's a 1-1 game now as we head to the ninth. New pitcher into the ball game is Alex Colomé, the closer for the Rays.
Yeah, he is working now 3 days, 3 consecutive days. He got the save in yesterday's game, number 6 on the season. He has had his problems this year, but so far against the Blue Jays, he has shut them down.
I think that's why Kevin Cash has used him 3 days in a row, see if he can't get something going. He threw 14 pitches on Friday night in a non-save situation. He threw 19 over an inning and 2/3 yesterday to pick up the save. And now he falls behind Kevin Pillar.
I thought he might be off after throwing an inning and 2/3 yesterday. Even when they had him warming up down in the bullpen, if they took the lead, okay, I could see him coming in, but they didn't take the lead. I thought they'd stick with Andriese.
Kevin Pillar has a double in 3 at bats this afternoon. Ripped. Pillar's thinking about 2. He's around first. He's headed for second. Span plays it back in, and Kevin Pillar has his second double of the afternoon, a leadoff double here in the ninth.
I'm telling you, he is on everything. We were talking his last time up about pitch recognition, recognizing pitches and not over swinging. That's a fastball out over the plate, and he rips it. And as soon as it gets into the outfield, with his speed, he knows he can get to at least second base.
Well, Kevin Pillar, that's his 15th double of the season, and he's among the leaders in extra base hits in the American League. Mookie Betts, Eduardo Escobar, Peter Gregorius, Mike Trout. That's an impressive list, and Pillar is right there with him. Kendrys Morales. Morales struck out against Colomé to end the game yesterday. He was the 3rd out in the 9th inning.
The day before, too. Here, at minimum, you got to be able to pull that ball.
Blue Jays have their best base runner in Kevin Pillar in scoring position. DeMarlo Hale is the acting manager. He's talking to Pompey, who's grabbed a batting helmet. Dalton did not start in this game. John Gibbons was ejected by the home plate umpire in the bottom of the 8th.
Don't forget about Curtis Granderson also. We saw him running around in the outfield before today's game. Says he might be available to pinch hits. There's Curtis. He's got his batting gloves on. He's surveying the situation.
If nothing more, just to let Tampa Bay know that there's a chance he could hit. Pulled on the ground. Pillar will head to 3rd. Morales a productive at bat as he moves Kevin up. Drive of the game brought to you by the new 2018 Civic Si. When it leads off, it leads for good. Honda, proud fan since 1977 and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Anthony Alford gets this slider from Chris Archer and rips it. His first hit of the season. He would come around to score the Blue Jays' only run this afternoon. That was back in the 5th inning. Jays could use another one of those right here. Infield's going to come in.
That ball gets away. Here comes Pillar. He's going to score the go-ahead run. Ramos did not do a very good job of trying to block that ball. He tried to catch it And it went right past him all the way to the backstop.
Yeah, he didn't stay down. He didn't smother that ball. That's the go-ahead run at third base. And watch how he goes after this ball. Just tries to backhand it and stays up. Look how high he is instead of staying down, going down to your knees and blocking it. Blue Jays will take it as Pilar comes in to score. He wasn't sure if he touched the plate, but he did.
So it's a 2-1 game now. Kevin Pilar with his second double to start the inning comes around to score. Kendrys Morales had a productive at bat. He moved Pilar from second to third. That allows him to score on the wild pitch. High fly ball. Gomez, the right fielder, has a bead on it. He makes the catch for his return.
You got that go-ahead run at third base. As a catcher, anything, you got to do anything to block that thing. It hits out in front of home plate and stays down and gets right through the wickets.
Two outs now. We're in the top of the ninth. The Blue Jays have taken the lead. Luke Maley goes after the first pitch. Roberto Osuna is standing by ready in the Blue Jays bullpen. Dane Johnson, the bullpen coach, has the lineup, and he will let Osuna know who he will face. Pulled on the ground. Big hop for Duffy. And that'll do it for the Jays in the top of the ninth. With Kevin Pilar led off with a double, moves to second on the ground ball and scores on a wild pitch. The Blue Jays have a 2-1 lead here in the ninth.
Presented by Honda. The Honda Checkered Flag event is back. It's the best time to find a Honda you'll love.
Two-1 ball game. Blue Jays trying to salvage the final game of this three-game series. And they'll do it with their closer in the ninth. Roberto Osuna has come on. Ryan Tepera is the pitcher of record for the Blue Jays.
Roberto last worked in that game, game one on Thursday. Remember, it was a non-save situation. He came in, gave up a couple of runs in his inning. Before that, he was nearly flawless on May the 1st in Minnesota. 6 pitches to pick up the save. He's 8 for 9 in saves this year.
Throws that first ball right past Joey Wendell. Wendell is 0 for 3 this afternoon. He's now gone 0 for his last 14.
He's right on top of the plate, isn't he? I think Osuna, who's very aware, understands things, noticed that, and then pushed him off the plate. Look at that.
Straighten him up with a fastball.
Get him off the plate.
Foul. 1-2 now. Big out. First out of the inning in the ninth, that's for sure. The Rays have won 6 straight home games. The Blue Jays trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game series, and a win today would even their record of 4-4 on this 8-game road trip. Changeup. Bailey completes the strikeout. Wendell is 0 for 4. 1 out in the bottom of the ninth.
One of the strengths of Roberto Osuna is his ability to throw strikes. He's had 1 walk all season long and pull the string when he needs to. Little changeup out in front of the plate. There's the grip. Take a little speed off of that, and he's got that hitter way out in front now. That's how you block a ball right there. Great job by Luke Maile to smother that ball.
That's the difference in the game. Wilson Ramos did not block a ball in the dirt, and Pilar came in to score. Daniel Robertson, he's 0 for 3. Struck out his last time up against Tyler Clippard. Osuna has used his fastball very effectively in the early parts of this season. Roberto, 8 for 9 in save opportunities. This is his 15th game of the season.
Boy, look where those fastballs are, right in on his hands. He'll get the scouting report and say, okay, Robertson doesn't hit the fastball well, or if I'm going to throw it, I've got to throw it in on his hands. A couple of bad swings right there. Elevate now, up and in. That's where they got him last time to strike out.
Looked like Maile had called for that fastball up. Robertson laid off. Blue Jays will have an off day tomorrow before they resume play on Tuesday night against the Seattle Mariners. They sit up the middle. Osuna went with the slider with 2 strikes, and Robertson just took it right back up the middle. A 1-out single.
Got a couple of weak hacks on fastballs inside, and they go back outside. More of a comfort level for Robertson. He likes that ball away. Shoots it right back through the middle. Now you got some speed at the plate. If there is a ground ball, don't hurry. Make sure you get an out. Smith can really run.
Donaldson way in at third, guarding against the bunt. One and one to Smith. Late on that Osuna fastball. It's 1-2 now.
Starting to get loose. That was his best fastball. 95. It's kind of guys where when you've got that kind of fastball, you just got to knock the bat right out of the hands of that hitter.
Smith has walked twice and struck out. He's hanging tough. Another changeup. Carlos Gomez is on deck. He homered to tie it in the 8th. Bouncing ball. Solarte will get the lead runner at second, and that's all they'll get.
And that's good. That's what I mean. You're not going to turn 2, especially on that ball right there. Smith runs too well, so just take your time and make sure you make a good throw and get the lead runner. Solarte catches, shovels, and Gurriel, who understands the game of baseball, says I can only get 1.
So now Osuna has to be aware of the runner at first. Mallex Smith has a stolen base today, his 8th of the season. And he represents the tying run, but you have to keep your focus on this guy. He hit his 5th home run this last time up.
Yeah, don't let that 202 batting average fool you. He's got some power.
Smith not running. First pitch strike in a good spot. Gomez hit a slider off of Ryan Tepera that stayed out over the heart of the plate. What's wrong with that pitch? One now. The appeal down the first, denied by Brian O'Nora. It's 2 balls and a strike to Gomez. That foul ball caught Maley, not sure where, but it was a check swing foul off the catcher.
Running the fastball right in on Gomez's hand. Check swing. Let's see where it hits Luke. Right in the face mask.
Flush on the mask.
You know he wants to do something dramatic, Gomez. Give him your best fastball.
Broken bat. That came around and hit Maley, but that's going to be the ball game. Osuna picks up the save, and the Blue Jays salvage the final game of this 3-game series. Kevin Pillar with a leadoff double comes around to score the decisive run.
I love how that one worked out for the Jays. They score the run. They get to Osuna. He had the pitch today with the off day tomorrow. Threw a fastball right in on his hands, and the Blue Jays, yeah, you're right, they salvaged that win. They needed that one. It's been a long, tough, grinding road trip, and it's going to feel good to get a win.
They will enjoy the off day tomorrow. Seattle's in town on Tuesday. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll talk to you Tuesday night from Toronto. Here's Blue Jays Center with Joe and Jamie.